To the recruiting visit presented by Sonic Boom Football. I'm your host, John Sarinides. And this week I have a guy on that I've been wanting to get on for a while now because he's been ripping it up the last 2 years down at Westerly High School in Rhode Island. Landon Husereau, quarterback of the Bulldogs. Landon, great to see you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. And before we get started here, do want to remind you that Sonic Boom Football is now fully operational and they are up and running. If you're looking for a flag football league for your sons or daughters where they can play competitive flag football, get trained and ready to play flag football and have a great experience, visit sonicboomfootball.com today for more information. Again, practices have started, games are around the corner. And this is one of the best competitive flag football leagues in the region. So again, visit sonicboomfootball.com today for more information. Alrighty, Landon, I know you're a busy man, so I'm glad you were able to take the time to join me tonight. First things first, how's your offseason been so far?
It's been pretty good. I just finished basketball season and got into spring lifts now.
And now do you play a spring sport?
I'm not this year. Last year I did track, but this year I'm just focusing on lifting.
And you're focusing on lifting. And then when I say you're a busy man, you're a busy man because you've been one of the top signal callers in the area the last 3 years. And I know that you're constantly training and preparing, and you're also talking to college coaches, getting your highlight film out there. Let's start. Let's kind of use that as a jumping off point. When did you start playing football, and when did you start playing quarterback?
So I've always been a quarterback, and I started playing football going into fifth grade. I was at my elementary school's like field day, and one of the coaches had came up to me and just like said that I should play, and that's kind of like when I started to play the following year.
And quarterback, look, I think most people would agree it's the most demanding position in all of sports. So much responsibility from a leadership talent, a leadership talent perspective, a physical perspective. So much goes into playing the position and playing it at a high level. What appeals to you about being the quarterback? Because you were thrust into this at a relatively young age. Most guys don't start as their team's varsity quarterback as freshmen or sophomores. You were in that position at Westerly. Why did you embrace that challenge of playing quarterback?
Well, I knew we needed a quarterback, and so starting in fifth grade, I started playing quarterback because our team didn't have one, and that's kind of the position that I thought like fit best. And I like it because just because I know that there's a lot of responsibility on me, and if I don't do my job, I know a lot of time that can be the reason if we win or lose a game.
You know, you have had a hell of a run at Westerly High School. Of course, you guys won a state championship this past season. I think a lot of people had an idea of who you were, but then they really got to know who you were after your opening game against Situate, Mass, where you went toe to toe with the Sailors, who are one of the best public school programs in Massachusetts. Could have won that game. How important was that game for you guys in terms of giving you the confidence to help prepare you for the road ahead and ultimately put you in a position where you can win a state title?
Yeah, it was really important. Obviously, the opening game is always important, but since it was a Massachusetts team, we kind of want it was our chance to put our name on the map and kind of to make a name for ourselves too.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I know people on that sideline, and they were very impressed with you and your teammates. You certainly got their attention, that's for sure. And you got a lot of people's attention in the area. You know, obviously, as you mentioned, you know, your team needed a quarterback. You started playing quarterback in fifth grade. You walk into Westerly High School, you take the reins, you become the man. And you've been building up to this past season where you won a state title. What does it mean to you as a guy who plays a premium position? And let's face it, Landon, we're living in a world now where recruiting is important and guys are getting recruited not just to play in college, but guys are getting recruited in high school too. As someone who's had a lot of success at a young age and has been on other schools' radars, Catholic and private schools, what does it mean to you to play at Westerly High School and put on that uniform? Why is that special to you?
I mean, just the community we have. It's a really small school, so we're all really close with each other, and the community's been supporting us since Pee-wees, and that's really a big reason why I love to play for Westerly.
Yeah, and you mentioned the community. I mean, Westerly's a big football town. They love their football. You mentioned the support. I mean, I've talked to people through the years that have said it's amazing how much that community loves the game. Do you guys feel that love on Friday nights when you're out there and you're competing? Do you feel that you have the community behind you?
Yeah, definitely. And even not on Friday nights, like we'll have like before Thanksgiving Day game, we have one of the biggest rivalries in the country, and like just the guest speakers we have leading up to that really shows how important the community is.
Yeah, and I think that that's such a big part of it, right? I mean, it has to matter to the community. If it just matters to the coaches and the players, that's not enough. You need that support behind you. Clearly, you guys have that support. How special was it to win a state title? I mean, look, I don't care what state you're in, I don't care where you're at. Winning a championship is one of the greatest accomplishments you will have in your life as a person. What does it mean to you to now say, "Hey, I'm a state champion. We got it done."
Yeah, it's especially important because it's the last time we Westerly has won it was 2001. So it's been a while, and especially after losing in the semifinals the last few years, finally getting over that hump was really a big step, and it's really important for us.
Yeah, and I think, to your point, again, you're a small school, and what I don't think people realize is that you got a lot of guys playing both ways. And you guys playing some of the best competition, not only in the area, but you're playing some really good schools in your own state. It makes it even more of an accomplishment, right?
Yeah, so our school only has about like 600 kids. So, and for the team, we have like 14 players playing in a normal game. So, I'll play
Wow.
one way and then we'll have like two other offensive players that are or defensive players that are just playing one way.
Has it dawned on you yet that you've got one more year left, that you're almost at the end of the road here in terms of your high school career? I feel like it was just last year that we got to know you and you burst onto the scene, but here we are now. You're going into your senior year. Has that dawned on you yet?
Uh I mean a little bit but not entirely. Uh Still try like focusing on lifting for next year and all that.
What do you think you need to do to get back to the state title game and win it again? What do you think you need to do? What do you think you guys need to do collectively?
Um, well, it starts in the off season. We need to get as many guys as we can to those off season lifts and workouts late when it comes to summer. And I think if we can get enough numbers, we can be back there just like we were this year.
You are watching the recruiting visit presented by Sonic Boom Football. I'm your host, John Serenitas. This week, we're joined by Westerly High School quarterback Landon Husereau. Landon, I ask this question every guy that I have on this show. It's a simple yet complex question. Why do you love playing football?
Um, I love playing football just because uh, I don't know, just like the work that you need to put in. I love working hard and um, really like applying myself, and I just love working.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you look at your career, and as I mentioned, you made a splash early, and you're somebody who in the football world around here in football circles, you're a well-known prospect as a quarterback. When you look at where you're at now and the journey and what it takes, you mentioned you like to work. Well, if you like to work, then playing football is the right sport for you. But when you look at the journey and how where you're at now, um, how much more do you think you need to do in terms of your game to take it to another level? Because you can always do more, right?
hmm Yeah. I mean, I need to constantly be working on my technique. Like I go to M2 QB Academy every weekend, and that's where I work on my form. And then I need to work on my footwork more. And then you can always improve decision making and reading defenses.
How much has working with Coach McCarthy and his crew helped you at M2?
It's helped a lot. I've been doing it my sixth grade, I believe, and I've grown so much with them, and it's really worked my footwork, anticipation, and really everything in between.
Obviously, you're going through the recruiting process right now. It can be an arduous process. It involves a lot. Just speak to where you're at in that process right now, and how's that been going for you this off season?
Yeah, it's been good. So far I've been planning my junior days. So I've had Brown a couple weeks ago. I had Holy Cross last weekend. Tomorrow I have Sacred Heart in Villanova, and then I have University of New Haven coming up. So I have a few lined up.
And when you talk about your junior days, that's not just a commitment for you, right? I mean, that's where parents, guardians typically come in and they play a part in that too. How cool has it been for you to go through that process with your parents?
Yeah, it's been really cool, and I'm super grateful because my dad drives me to all of these, and he'll be driving me tomorrow to Sacred Heart in Villanova. So I'm just super grateful for that.
Yeah, and family support, of course, as we know, plays a big part in any athlete's success, male or female. How much you mentioned your dad driving you around, but how much has that support really helped you through the years? Going back to your youth days, how much having them in your corner and supporting you helped you in terms of getting to this point?
Yeah, it's incredible. So I've been done a lot of the spring football and a lot of the 7-on-7, and he's always supported me with that. And then so he's been coaching at the high school for 4 years before I got there. So he's a coach on the staff too. So just having him there and throughout the journey has been amazing.
Yeah, it makes a world of difference, I'm sure, just having him there to bounce things off of him and talk about things, especially, when you guys are on defense, if you get a few minutes with him off to the side, you can work together. I'm sure that that's an invaluable experience for both of you, not just you.
Yeah, definitely. It's incredible.
Yeah. If I asked your teammates to tell me three things about you, what do you think they would say?
Um, I think they would say I'm hardworking. Um, I think they'd say that like I have integrity and um just like that I'm like dedicated to getting better.
Now, conversely, and I'm putting you through the rigors here now, but conversely, if I asked your coaches that, not your dad, because we know your dad knows you the best, he would be able to answer this no problem. But if I asked the other coaches on the staff the same question, what are three things you think they would say about you?
Um, I think they would say that like I have a I have a good understanding for the game. I make fast decisions, and um I am I think they'd say I'm a pretty good leader too.
Well, speaking of that, good segue. Leadership. You're the face of the program. You've been the face of the program now for 3 years. How would you describe your leadership style? What kind of a leader are you?
Um, I think I'm kind of like uh I'm not like the vocal leader on the team. We have a few of those, but I'm kind of the lead by example type of leader.
Yeah.
Like I'll be the picking up the pads with the freshmen and sophomores as well, and I feel like that's kind of the type of leader I am.
And obviously, going into your senior year now, there's going to be a lot more expected of you in that area. How do you? This is your year, right? I mean, you work up to this, even though you guys won a state title in your junior year. Every kid works up to their senior year. This is my year. What do you think, from a leadership standpoint, you need to do to ensure that this is the kind of year you guys can finish the way you want and remember?
Yeah, I think I need to work on being more of a vocal leader, like I said. And then just getting the players to show up in the off season. That's a big thing for a small school because we're
Yeah.
a couple injuries away from uh our season being in jeopardy.
Yeah. No, you bring up a great point, man. If the numbers game is an issue for the program, it is truly all hands on deck, right? You need those guys to buy into coming to the weight room, to coming to summer workouts. If you're organizing stuff, they need to be there. I agree with you, especially if you're playing that many guys both ways. That's huge for you guys. Have you thought about college in terms of everybody wants to play football as long as they can? I mean, shoot, if we could play football forever, we would. Obviously, we cannot. Have you thought about what you're looking for in a school, and have you thought about a potential career after your playing days are over?
Yeah, so for colleges, I've been looking at a lot of Ivy League schools and like Patriot League schools. Um, and I want to be like an engineer or like an architectural engineer to be specific.
Wow, awesome. And what are you looking for in a school, both in terms of the football program and the academics? Because as you know, Landon, we're living in a time of such volatility now with player movement and guys transferring and NIL and everything else. Now more than ever, it's as hard as it's ever been on high school kids in terms of getting recruited and getting noticed. But all that being said, you also will have certain things or criteria that you want out of a school. When it comes to football and academics, what are things that are important to you that you're going to weigh in your decision making?
Um, so a main reason I've been looking at the Ivy Leagues is because they don't take a lot of transfers. So a lot of the guys they're getting
Yeah.
will be there for all 4 years. So I feel like having that would make it easier to like build a relationship with the team around me.
Yeah, and you mentioned Brown. Brown also has that open curriculum, which I think
Mhm.
is great because you can cater your major to what you want it to look like.
Yeah, yeah, that's really important for college for me as well.
Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned that you're working with Mike McCarthy over at M2. You're doing your junior days. What else is on tap in terms of the rest of your spring and summer in regards to camps or combines or events of that nature?
Yeah, so I've been starting to plan out some of like the summer camps, the college camps, and just trying to figure out which colleges I should go to and which would be the best fit. And then continuing throughout the spring, just lifting, and then just working on 40 times and like all uh, like skills testing for camps.
And are you going to be participating in the M2 showdown at Bryant?
Yes, yeah, I think I will be. I think I'm free that day to be able
Okay,
to.
excellent.
Yeah.
Uh, when you're not practicing, when you're not playing, when you're not around the game of football, what do you like to do off the field? What are some hobbies that you're into? How do you like to spend your time when you're away from the game?
Yeah, so I like to do a lot of art. So um I last year I took advanced art and then this year I'm taking AP drawing and painting. So I like
Wow,
to draw and paint a lot.
that's awesome. That's good stuff, man. And do you have any outside of that? Of course, do you have any other hobbies? We're living in a time now where everybody loves to play video games and fish and everything else. When you're not being an artist, is there other things you enjoy doing that take your mind off the game and get you away from it a little bit?
Um yeah, I enjoy golf a lot.
Nice.
Just like really calming and kind of like that.
Yeah, awesome. Now back to football, right? This is my favorite part of the show because I kind of feel like we really truly get to know guys in terms of who they are as people and players. What is your pregame routine like? So you just wrapped up your walkthrough practice. You're playing on Friday night. Are you the kind of guy that's going to bring your uniform home, lay it out on your bed, dream big? Are you superstitious? What is your pregame routine like?
Um I wouldn't say like I don't like really have one, but I do like for like warm-ups, I try to keep like the same warm-up every time and but I wouldn't say that I have like a
Right,
specific.
like I said,
Yeah.
yeah. And inquiring minds want to know pregame meal. What does a Landon Husereau pregame meal look like?
Yeah, so it's not always the same, but what I do like to get a lot of the time before a game is a chicken cutlet grinder, like just a
Oh,
half roll. So
nice. Nice.
yeah.
And is this a local establishment near the school?
Yeah, it's just down the road from the school. It's called Reels. I like their chicken
Reels.
cutlets.
And you go
Yeah.
chicken cutlet before a game, huh? I mean, a couple of years ago, I had guys talking about having Chipotle and steak and cheese subs, and I'm like, how are these kids putting this stuff in their bodies, especially early in the season? 'Cause, you know, when it's hot and it's easy to cramp. I was amazed that people were eating that stuff. And then the last year or so, I get guys saying, "Oh, I'll have a banana or a PB&J," or but you go with a chicken cutlet sub. Now, do you eat the whole thing, or do you have half before the game and save the other half for after the game?
I'll usually get only a half, and then I'll make sure I'll eat it enough with enough time so settles in.
Now, I like that. Now, music. The football is my favorite part of doing this show and getting to know you guys, but the music is the other part of it. I'm a big music guy. What's your pregame music routine? Are you guys boombox DJ programmer? And one kid runs, the playlist, and you have the giant speaker in the locker room, or do you guys do your own thing individually with music? And what do you like to listen to before a game?
Yeah, so we'll usually have a giant boom box in our locker room. And then once we get on the field, we'll have music on the like the speaker. But I don't like really listen to music that much like on my own or uh
Right.
before a game. Like
So
yeah, I
you're
just
not the kind of guy that's got the headphones on and you're out there warming up. You're just out there warming up.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I like and when there's no music on the speakers or anything, I like warming up like in the quiet before the game.
Now, when you say you're not a music guy, do you not listen to music off the field as well, or is this you're strictly not a music guy before a game?
Um well I listen to a little bit of music, like in like car rides I will, but other than that, not a lot.
And what is your type of music? What is your genre that you like to listen to? You know, you're driving down the street, you're chilling, you're hanging out, you got an open afternoon. I mean, Westerly is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places in New England. What are you listening to on a beautiful summer day in the car, cruising down the boulevard in Westerly?
Yeah, I usually listen to like folk music I like, so that's
We've
usually what I'm
never
listening
had
to.
folk music on this show, so this is a first.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of music, but when I do, it's usually
Yeah,
folk. But I also do like a little bit of like hip hop and
nice, nice. Well, I think look, one thing I can tell just talking to you, and you and I have talked via text in the past, but one of the things I can tell talking to you is you definitely have that chill demeanor, which comes in handy when you're playing quarterback because nothing phases you and no moment is too big. And I'm sure your demeanor and your approach has probably helped you as a quarterback.
yeah, definitely. I've heard that a lot from coaches and people I've trained with. That
Oh, I can imagine if you need to go 70 yards with 2 minutes left to win a game, I would imagine your coaches feel pretty good with you at the helm because A, you're good, you're talented, and B, you're not phased by the moment. You're just gonna do what you need to do to win the game.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Final question here for you, Landon. And again, I want to say thank you for taking the time, man. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I've been wanting to have you on for a while, so I'm glad that we were able to connect and get it done. Uh, what is a college program getting in you when you commit to them? What are they getting in you as a person and as a player?
Yeah, so like I said before, I think they're gonna get a hardworking kid um who's gonna put in the work like I'll continue to go to M2, so I'll continue to work outside of what we're doing for whatever spring practice or practice, um and just continuing to like grind off the field.
Awesome. Great stuff, man. Well, Listen, coaches out there, watch this show, and coaches, I'm going to tell you, this kid right here is the real deal. He can sling it. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in our area the last 3 years. And if you're not recruiting him or you're not familiar with him, get familiar with him because I think he's poised for a big final year at Westerly High School. And we're certainly excited to see you get it done, Landon. I want to say thank you for taking the time, brother. Really appreciate it. And looking forward to seeing what's on top for you the rest of this offseason, and we can't wait to cover you guys this fall.
Yep. Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Of course. Thank you for taking the time. And as always, if there's any way we could ever help and we could do it, feel free to reach out, man. We're here to support our New England, programs, players, and coaches. So don't be a stranger.
Definitely. I appreciate it.
All right. That'll do it for this week's episode of the Recruiting Visit for Landon Husereau. I'm John Saranitas. We'll be back with you next time. Until then, have a good weekend. Peace.